What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have one last enemy match featuring this team here, and this one is against Loki. So looking at the team preview here, the first thing that I do notice is that I'm going to have a lot of trouble with that Medicham. Honestly, it messes up both of my walls with two of its stabs, and overall they're usually choice scarfed, which means it's going to be able to outspeed pretty much everything on my team. So that thing is going to be a problem. He also has some other threats like the Hitmontop, he's got the Kling Klang, and he has that Aselgor thing that's the weird fast bug. But anyway, let's go ahead and just hop into this one. I decided to lead off with my Greydilly as he ends up leading off with his Alolan Golem. So I'm expecting probably for this thing to want to go for the Stealth Rock on the first turn, although I do want to play it safe here, and I don't want to lose my Greydilly early because I am looking, decently useful. So I'm just going to switch right into my Weezing straight off the bat here, as I don't want to take an Earthquake. I can dodge it with Levitate if that's what he decides to go for, but he actually is just going to go ahead and look at his animation for Stealth Rock. He pulls that weird little thing off his head. I don't know. But he goes for the Stealth Rock there, as I'm able to then go for a nice little Will-O-Wisp, which is going to make this thing really unable to do any damage with its physical attack. So he does go for the Stone Edge there, which I thought was interesting because even without the burn, it wouldn't be able to do a whole lot to Weezing anyway. So I was kind of expecting a switch there and hoping to Will-O-Wisp something that didn't want to be burned, but at this point, I'm actually just going to go straight for some Toxic Spikes because I know that he does have the Hitmontop on his team, but I'm really not too worried about that thing coming in. I don't have a Spin Blocker, which actually kind of sucks, but there's really nothing else I can do against this Golem. My attacking moves are Flamethrower and Sludge Bomb, which aren't really going to hurt this thing a whole lot, so I decided to just go ahead and get both layers of Toxic Spikes up. That is going to make it so the next Pokemon that he has to switch in is going to be that Hitmontop, unless he wants something else to get badly poisoned. So I do actually avoid a Stone Edge there, and as I'm sitting here eating some Black Sludge, I realize I should probably try to conserve Disco Balls as much as possible because it's really my only defense wall, and I am really going to need this thing as healthy as possible if I do want to have a chance in walling some stuff. So I actually just decided to switch into Wishy Washy here. For whatever reason, he actually ends up going for the Double Edge. And with Golem's new ability, it is going to turn any normal type attack into an electric attack. So he's going to go ahead and get a nice little stab Double Edge there. It is going to knock me down to 27 HP. I'm going to go ahead and pop my Citrus Berry, as it's going to bring me to about half. And that is kind of unfortunate because now this thing is going to Double Edge again. I can actually kill this if I ended up being faster. I think he might end up being faster though, so I'm going to go ahead and switch right into Manectric. The reason being is I know that he's going to for sure go for the Double Edge again, and I do have the Lightning Rod ability, which will raise my special attack upon getting hit with an electric attack. So he does go for the Double Edge. Lightning Rod is going to activate there and raise my special attack, so now I'm a Choice Specs +1 Manectric, and I'm going to be able to do some solid damage here. So I just go straight for the Thunderbolt. It is going to kill the Golem, and that thing lasted way longer than it freaking should have. Did some damage, as Wishy Washy is going to be really kind of useless at this point. But now he brings in the Hitmontop, is going to get that bad poison, and as I'm looking at it here, with the special attack raise, I potentially could be able to kill this thing with one hit with a Thunderbolt. So I go for it. With the Choice Specs, I figure, hey, I might actually kill, but he lives it with 20 HP. That allows him to go for a Rapid Spin, and that really kind of sucks. That's going to get rid of my Poison Spikes. If that would have killed, I think it would have been definitely a pretty different match here, but the Poison's going to knock out the Hitmontop, and that's two quick Pokemon gone there, so I'm stoked to see that thing gone. Don't have to worry about that thing coming in, intimidating shits. And yeah, so now he brings in Medicham, the little nipple knee thing, as I make a pretty risky play here. I go into my Scrafty, first off, because I do want to get an Intimidate, and secondly, I was really hoping that he was going to lock himself into a Psychic move. Obviously wouldn't affect me because I'm Dark type, but he does actually end up going for the Drain Punch, which really kind of sucks. It's going to hit me for super effective damage, and I cannot take another one of those, plus it's faster, so I do have to switch into Weezing. I know that pretty much every Medicham you come across is going to be Choice Scarf, so he is locked into Drain Punch at this point, and Weezing is obviously not going to take a whole lot from a Drain Punch, so leaves me at above half after the Black Sludge. I'm looking pretty healthy at this point, and I know that this thing's definitely not going to want to stay in here, but I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp regardless, as he's going to end up switching into his weird little cocoon bug thing. You actually don't really see Aselgor a whole lot other than when they just set up spikes for kind of suicide leads and stuff, but I do get a Will-O-Wisp off on this thing. Really not too big of a deal because it's obviously going to be a special attacker, but I do get some little bit of chip damage, as it's not going to do a whole lot. Obviously they nerfed Burn this generation, so it really just doesn't do much, but he's going to go for the Bug Buzz there. Disco Balls is able to live that, and here I decided to set up Toxic Spikes. In hindsight, I feel like I potentially should have just gone for the Flamethrower and tried to knock this thing out, but I figure getting those toxic spikes up would actually be more beneficial in the long run. But yeah, so he's over there getting hurt by his burnt ass bug, smells like shit over here as he goes for a bug buzz again, and that is going to take care of wheezing. So at this point, my physical defense wall is gone, although he wasn't really all that useful considering he does have a Medicham, which is his hardest hitting physical attacker who can just pretty much kill me with a Zen headbutt. But I probably should have played Wheezing a lot smarter there. That's kind of where I blew it. But I'm not going to switch into my Rampardos. I am expecting him to want to switch into his Clink Clang, fearing the Head Smash. So I do predict that, as I'm going to go for an Earthquake rather than the Rock move. As my prediction works out, he does go into that thing, and an Earthquake is not going to be able to take it out in one hit, although it will be a 2-hit KO, and he doesn't really have any option to switch into an Earthquake here. So seeing the stupid gear thing go down is actually really nice, because I don't have to worry about this thing setting up some gear grinds or shift gear or whatever the hell those things do. As yeah, that thing is going to go down to another Earthquake. So Rampardos just taking lives as he does best. And yeah, so at this point, he's going to bring right back in the stupid Ninja Bug, seeing as he knows that I am Choice Scarfed into Earthquake. I obviously can't end up killing that thing with that, so I do have to switch out Rampardos, and I decide to go into my Wishy Washy. This thing's basically just in here for death fodder, so that way I can get a free switch into whatever I want against this this damn bug. So activate the homies, bring out the old squad, form a freaking submarine, as he is going to finish me off with a Giga Drain. So down goes Wishy Washy. Didn't get to do a damn thing this match. I'm sorry I failed you, Wishy Washy. But yeah, the good news is this allows me to bring in whatever the hell I want, like I said, and I decide to go into my Manectric here. So I can scare this thing out with an Overheat. I really should have gone for the Thunderbolt, as you'll see here. I didn't want to kind of just waste my Manectric and go for the risky prediction, but I do just go straight for the Overheat, as he's going to switch into his Pyukumuku, which is why I really wish I would have gone for Thunderbolt predicting that. But the Overheat obviously is not going to do a whole lot of damage to this thing. Going to lower my special attack, and I am locked into Overheat at this point, so I can't stay in. Getting a Thunderbolt off on that would have been a pretty damn nice play, because Pyukumuku is annoying as hell. So here, I'm going to go ahead and switch right into my Cradilly, and I switched into this thing just basically because I know that Pyukumuku doesn't really have anything that he can hit me with other than Toxic. So he does actually go for the Toxic, and that actually does kind of suck. Cradilly doesn't really enjoy being badly poisoned, so that kind of sucks, although I figure I do have a pretty strong Giga Drain that I can hit this thing with. Pyukumuku is not really known for its special defenses, so I figure I'm going to go for that, kind of just scout out as much damage as possible I can get with this thing. Plus he does have that poison, so it's whittling it down quite a bit there. As yeah, so I'm just gonna go straight for a nice little drain of the Giga variety, and it doesn't do a whole lot of damage there, unfortunately. As we'll see here, this thing ends up carrying Rest, so he's gonna go ahead and take a nice little snooze. As I don't think this thing will probably be Sleep Talk. I don't know if they even get Sleep Talk, but at this point I kind of formed a plan in my head. I figure I could switch into my Scrafty at this point while this thing's sleeping, potentially get some Drain Punches and bring my health back up to a reasonable point. I was also thinking I could potentially set up against this thing with the Scrafty, so I'm just going to switch directly into this thing as it's going to burn its first turn of sleep. So Sagan comes in, got to hold his damn pants up because those bitches would fall off, as the Stealth Rock's going to leave me at 8 HP. Go ahead and intimidate this thing, which really does not matter, as this dude is over here just sleeping up a storm. So I'm going to go right for the Drain Punch. I do have the Life Orb, so I have to go for the Drain Punch to get as much damage as possible to heal up. Although, unfortunately, this thing also has a Rocky Helmet, so I'm going to take a whole lot of damage from that and my Life Orb, and now it's looking like I have no way to knock this thing out, seeing as he will wake up from sleep this next turn. I can't go for a Dragon Dance because he'll just knock me out with the Toxic, but I have to go for another Drain Punch, hope for a critical hit. Unfortunately, I don't get it, and it's not going to bring me to the point where I can survive my recoil. So the Rocky Helmet is going to knock me down, and then the Life Orb kind of ends up killing me. So that really sucks, as the Pyukumuku is going to go ahead and wake up there, and he goes for a Harden, which I thought was honestly kind of hilarious. I've never seen, guarantee you this is the first time I've ever seen Harden in a Wi-Fi battle I've uploaded on my channel in the past 8 years. So that's kind of funny. I'm now able to bring in Bork though, and finish it off with a Thunderbolt, which is nice. So down goes the Pyukumuku, but at this point I really don't still have an answer for that damn Medicham, and I've got to try to figure something out. So he brings in the Medicham. It is going to obviously outspeed me here. He gets a little bit of a nice little poison there. And obviously, yeah, like I said, I can't outspeed because it is Choice Scarfed. And a Drain Punch is going to kill my Manectric, so no more Borks today. And that's pretty damn sad. So he's over here getting hurt by some poison, and like I said, I just do not have any answers to this. So the only thing I can really do is go into my Rampardos, and we're both Choice Scarfed, so unfortunately he's obviously going to be able to outspeed me. My last two Pokemon are Rampardos and Cradily, who both lose to Drain Punch. So I should have based my game plan more against this Medicham, because I figured that was kind of his win condition. So he is going to Drain Punch Rampardos as I go down, and really the only thing I can do here is go into Cradily, who is just obviously going to take a Drain Punch to the 8 dicks, and that thing's going to be dead as hell. But that was still an interesting match. Like I said, I definitely had some misplays. I really should have worked around this damn Medicham, but there's really not a whole lot I could have done. So either way, that was still a good match. I am going to go down to that last Drain Punch, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed, and as always, don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. Peace out, guys.